Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Blueprints Astrology. I'm Sino, and today we're diving into Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac, the twins. If Aries initiates and Taurus builds, Gemini connects, communicates, and explores. The air sign brings us curiosity, versatility, and the gift of seeing multiple perspectives simultaneously. Gemini season runs from May 21st through June 20th, a time when spring transitions into summer, when the world is buzzing with activity, communication, and new ideas. This timing perfectly captures Gemini energy, so dynamic, social, and endlessly curious about everything happening around them. This is the messenger of the zodiac, the eternal student, the social butterfly who can talk to anyone about anything. Gemini teaches us about adaptability, the power of words and ideas, and the importance of staying curious and open to new information throughout our lives. In this video, we'll explore everything Gemini, from its ruling planet Mercury and airy nature to how the sign expresses itself across different areas of life. We'll look at both the brilliance and challenges of Gemini energy, its expression in various chart placements, and how to harness this quick, clever, communicative force in your own life. So activate that mental agility, prepare for a swift journey through ideas and insights, and let's explore the fascinating, multifaceted world of the twins. Gemini is represented by the twins, an ancient symbol of duality, multiplicity, and the human capacity to hold multiple truths simultaneously. In mythology, the twins represent different aspects of human nature, so your mortal and divine, light and shadow, logic and intuition. This duality is key to understanding Gemini. The twins symbolize Gemini's ability to see both sides of every situation, to adapt their personality to different contexts, and to maintain multiple interests, friendships, and projects simultaneously. This isn't about being two-faced or fake. It's about genuine versatility and the recognition that we all contain multitudes. Gemini is an air sign, and this element is crucial to its nature. Air represents the realm of ideas, communication, intellect, and social connection. Air signs are concerned with thoughts, words, information exchange, and the networks that connect us. They're the signs that think, communicate, and create connections between people and ideas. The modality of Gemini is mutable. While cardinal signs initiate and fixed signs sustain, mutable signs adapt, change, and transition. Mutable energy is about flexibility, versatility, and the ability to adjust to changing circumstances. It's the energy of the shapeshifter, the person who can flow with change rather than resist it. This combination of mutable air makes Gemini perhaps the most adaptable, versatile, and mentally agile sign of the zodiac. This is the energy that gathers information, makes connections, and communicates ideas. Where Aries says, let's start, and Taurus says, let's build, Gemini says, let's explore all the possibilities. Now let's look at Mercury. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, and connection. Mercury is named after the Roman messenger god, known for his speed, wit, and ability to travel between worlds. The planetary influence gives Gemini its quick mind, gift for language, and insatiable curiosity. Mercury governs how we think, communicate, learn, and process information. It's the planet of the rational mind, logical thinking, and the ability to articulate thoughts and ideas. Mercury also rules short-distance travel, commerce, technology, and all forms of information exchange. In Gemini, Mercury is in one of its home signs, expressing with particular strength and ease. This placement gives Gemini natives exceptional mental speed, verbal dexterity, and the ability to learn quickly and communicate effectively. They're natural speakers, writers, teachers, and networkers. Mercury's influence explains why Gemini energy is so restless and mentally active. Mercury doesn't sit still. It zips around, gathering information, making connections, and moving to the next interesting thing. This planet operates on mental stimulation and variety rather than depth and focus. Mercury also rules our nervous system, which explains why Gemini individuals can be prone to anxiety, overthinking, or nervous energy. Their minds are constantly active, processing multiple streams of information simultaneously. Learning to quiet the mental chatter and find moments of stillness is important for Gemini's well-being. The dual nature of Mercury, so both rational and adaptable, is reflected in Gemini's ability to be both logical and flexible, both articulate and open to changing their mind when presented with new information. Unlike fixed signs that dig into their heels, Gemini can pivot quickly when they encounter compelling new ideas or perspectives. Let's explore the defining characteristics of Gemini energy. These qualities will manifest differently depending on where Gemini appears in your charts, but the fundamental essence remains recognizable. So firstly, it's curiosity and love of learning. Gemini possesses an insatiable curiosity about everything. They're eternal students who never stop asking questions, seeking information, and exploring new subjects. They have a genuine fascination with how things work, why people think what they think, and what makes the world tick. It's communication skills. Gemini is a natural communicator. They're articulate, expressive, and skilled with words, whether spoken or written. They can explain complex ideas in accessible ways, telling engaging stories, and adapt their communication style to different audiences. Conversation comes naturally to them. It's mental agility and quick thinking. Gemini minds work fast. They process information rapidly, make quick connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, and can think on their feet. They're excellent problem solvers who approach challenges from multiple angles at the same time. It's adaptability and versatility, so Gemini can adjust to almost any situation or environment. They're comfortable in diverse social settings, they can switch between different tasks or topics effortlessly, and they thrive on variety. This flexibility is one of their greatest strengths. It's social nature and friendliness. So Gemini is genuinely interested in people. They're friendly, approachable, and can strike up conversations with anyone. They collect diverse groups of friends and acquaintances, enjoying the variety of perspectives and experiences others bring. It's wit and humor. So Gemini often has a sharp wit and playful sense of humor. They're quick with jokes, clever wordplay, and amusing observations. Their humor tends to be intelligent and observational rather than crude or mean-spirited. It's youthfulness and playfulness. There's an eternally youthful quality to Gemini energy. They maintain a sense of wonder, playfulness, and openness to new experiences regardless of age. They don't take themselves too seriously and enjoy play as much as work. It's information gathering. So Gemini loves to collect information, facts, stories, and ideas. They're often well informed about current events, pop culture, and a wide range of topics. They enjoy being in the know and sharing interesting information with others. So now let's look at the shadow side of Gemini. Every sign has its challenges, and understanding Gemini's shadow side is essential for growth and self-awareness. These aren't flaws to condemn, but areas for conscious development. So firstly, it's superficiality. The flip side of Gemini's wide-ranging curiosity is a tendency towards superficiality. They may know a little about everything but struggle to go deep into any one thing. Their interest moves to the next shiny object before they've fully explored the current one. Learning to cultivate depth alongside breadth is important. Next is inconsistency and unreliability. Gemini's adaptability can manifest as inconsistency. They might commit to things when excited but lose interest very quickly. Their opinions, interests, and even personality can seem to shift, making them appear unreliable or flaky to more stable signs. It's overthinking and mental anxiety. That constantly active mind can become exhausting. Gemini can overthink everything, analyzing situations from every angle until they're paralyzed by indecision. They may struggle with racing thoughts, mental restlessness, and anxiety stemming from too much mental activity. It's gossiping and spreading information. Gemini's love of information and communication can turn into gossip. They enjoy knowing and sharing interesting details about people and situations, but this can cross the line into sharing things that should remain private or spreading information without verifying its accuracy. It's scattered energy. With so many interests and such a quick mind, Gemini can scatter their energy across too many projects, relationships, or pursuits. They may start many things but finish few, always distracted by the next interesting possibility. It's difficulty with commitments. So, whether in relationships, careers, or projects, Gemini can struggle with long term commitments. The fear of being bored or missing out on other options can prevent them from fully committing to any one path. It's manipulation through words, so Gemini's facility with language can be used manipulatively. They're skilled at saying what others want to hear, rationalizing questionable behavior, or using their wit to deflect from uncomfortable truths. Their ability to see and argue multiple sides can become intellectual dishonesty. And finally, it's emotional disconnection. As an air sign, Gemini can become overly intellectual about emotions, analyzing feelings rather than feeling them. They may struggle to connect with their own deeper emotions or those of others, preferring to stay in the mental realm where they're comfortable. The key to working with these shadow aspects is developing self-awareness, practicing focus and follow-through, and learning to balance intellectual understanding with emotional connection and depth. Now let's look at Gemini in different placements. Gemini energy expresses uniquely depending on where it appears in your natal chart. So let's explore the key placements. Gemini Sun. Your core identity is curious, communicative, and adaptable. You're here to learn, connect, and share information. Your life purpose involves developing your mind, building bridges between people and ideas, and remaining eternally curious. You shine when you're learning something new, engaging in stimulating conversation, or exploring multiple interests. Gemini Moon. Your emotional nature needs mental stimulation, variety, and communication. You process feelings through talking and thinking about them. Emotional security comes from intellectual connection, freedom to explore, and having multiple outlets for your interests. You can be emotionally detached or changeable, needing to learn to honor feelings alongside thoughts. Gemini rising. You approach life with curiosity, openness, and verbal expression. Others see you as friendly, talkative, and mentally sharp. You may appear younger than your age or maintain a youthful energy throughout life. Your life path involves developing communication skills, making connections, and gathering diverse experiences. Mercury is your chart ruler, making its placement especially important. Gemini Mercury. Mercury is at home in Gemini, giving you exceptional mental speed, communication skills, and learning ability. Your mind works quickly, processing multiple streams of information simultaneously. You're articulate, witty, and enjoy wordplay. You learn best through conversation, reading, and variety rather than repetitive drill. Gemini Venus. You're attracted to intelligence, wit, and mental stimulation in relationships. You need partners who can engage your mind and keep things interesting. You express love through conversation, sharing ideas, and intellectual connection. You can be flirtatious and enjoy the mental game of romance as much as the emotional or physical aspects. Gemini Mars. Your drive and energy are expressed through mental activity, communication, and variety. You pursue goals through networking, information gathering, and versatile approaches. You may have nervous energy that needs mental outlets. Your anger is expressed verbally. You fight with words rather than physical aggression. Gemini Jupiter. Your growth and expansion comes through learning, teaching, communication, and making connections. You find wisdom in diverse perspectives and information sources. Your luck often manifests through networking, writing, speaking, or educational pursuits. You believe in the power of ideas and information to create positive change. Gemini Uranus. You experience breakthroughs and innovation through communication, technology, and unconventional thinking. You may revolutionize how information is shared or create unique communication styles. You need intellectual freedom and rebel against mental constraints or rigid thinking. You're drawn to cutting-edge ideas and alternative perspectives. Gemini Neptune. Your spirituality is expressed through imagination, storytelling, poetry, or spiritual teaching. You may have confusion around facts versus fiction or struggle with mental clarity. There's potential for inspired writing, channeling, or artistic communication. You're learning to balance rational thinking with intuitive knowing. Gemini Pluto. You experience profound transformation through ideas, communication crises, or intense learning experiences. You have penetrating insight and the ability to uncover hidden information. Your words can be powerfully transformative. You're learning to use your mental power responsibly and to transform superficial curiosity into deep understanding. The house where you have Gemini in your chart shows the life area where you're meant to explore, communicate, and maintain versatility. This is where you'll gather information, make connections, and keep things dynamic. Now let's look at relationships and compatibility. Gemini in relationships needs mental stimulation, variety, and excellent communication. They fall for intelligence, wit, and people who can keep up with their quick mind. The beginning of a Gemini relationship often involves long conversations, shared interests, and intellectual connection. In love, Gemini needs space, freedom, and a partner who doesn't require constant emotional intensity. They show affection through conversation, shared activities, and mental engagement. They want a friend and mental companion as much as they want a romantic partner. They can be playful, flirtatious, and keep relationships feeling fresh and interesting. The Gemini approach to conflict is to talk it out, analyze it from multiple angles, and find logical solutions. They prefer rational discussion to emotional drama. However, they can use their verbal skills to deflect, rationalize, or avoid deeper emotional issues. They need partners who are patient enough to help them connect thinking and feeling. Compatible signs often include fellow air signs Libra and Aquarius, who share Gemini's intellectual focus and need for mental stimulation. The fire signs Aries and Leo can also work well, providing excitement and matching Gemini's social energy. The opposition sign Sagittarius can either be highly compatible or challenging, offering the philosophical depth and adventure that complements Gemini's curiosity. Earth signs may find Gemini too scattered or superficial, while Gemini can see earth signs as too slow or serious. Water signs might feel frustrated by Gemini's emotional detachment, while Gemini might feel overwhelmed by water's emotional intensity. However, with maturity and mutual understanding, any combination can work. The key for Gemini in relationships is learning to go deep alongside exploring broadly, honoring emotions alongside thoughts, and following through on commitments even when initial excitement fades. Now let's look at career and life purpose. Gemini Energy thrives in careers involving communication, variety, learning, and social interaction. They need work that keeps their mind engaged, offers diverse challenges, and doesn't trap them in monotonous routines. Ideal careers include journalism, writing, and publishing. Gemini's way with words serves them perfectly. They excel in teaching, training, and education where they can share information and engage diverse minds. Marketing, public relations, and advertising leverage their communication skills and understanding of how to reach different audiences. Gemini also shines in media, broadcasting, and podcasting, anywhere where they can communicate ideas to broad audiences. Sales and business development suit their social nature and ability to connect with diverse people. Translation, interpretation, and linguistics appeal to their love of language. Technology fields attract many Geminis, so coding, app development, social media management, or tech support that requires explaining complex systems. They're natural researchers, librarians, or information specialists who love gathering and organizing knowledge. Any profession requiring versatility appeals to Gemini, so consulting, project management, or roles where they can wear multiple hats. They're also drawn to travel-related work, logistics, or anything involving movement and connection. The key for Gemini professionally is finding work that provides mental stimulation, variety, and social interaction. They're not made for isolated, repetitive, or purely physical work. They need to use their minds and communication skills daily. Gemini's life purpose often involves bridging gaps between people, ideas, cultures, or fields of knowledge. They're here to gather information, make connections, and help others communicate and understand each other. They show us the value of curiosity, adaptability, and keeping our minds open and active throughout life. So how do we work with the Gemini energy? So whether you're a Gemini or you want to work with this energy consciously, here are practical ways to harness the twins' energy. For Gemini individuals or strong Gemini placements, firstly, practice finishing what you start before moving on to the next exciting thing. Secondly, develop depth in at least one area while maintaining your breadth of interests. Thirdly, create systems to organize information and manage multiple projects effectively. Fourthly, practice meditation or mindfulness to quiet mental chatter and reduce anxiety. Fifthly, balance intellectual understanding with emotional awareness and expression. Sixth, be mindful of information you share, verify accuracy, and respect privacy. And lastly, give yourself permission to have varied interests without judging yourself as scattered. For everyone, especially during Gemini season, firstly, read widely and explore new subjects that interest you. Secondly, engage in stimulating conversations with diverse people. Thirdly, take a class or workshop to learn something new. Fourth, practice active listening and asking good questions. Fifth, write, journal, or express yourself through words. Next, stay curious and open to changing your mind when you encounter new information. Next, connect with siblings, neighbors, or your local community. Then try something that exercises your mind, so puzzles, games, learning a new language. And lastly, embrace variety in your daily routine rather than rigid sameness. Remember, Gemini energy teaches us that life is richer when we stay curious, that there's always more to learn, and that connection and communication are what makes us human. So Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac, teaches us about curiosity, connection, and the power of communication. This mutable air sign reminds us that information wants to be shared, that we grow through learning, and that staying mentally flexible and open allows us to navigate life's constant changes with grace. Whether you have significant Gemini placements or simply want to cultivate more of this energy, the twins offer essential lessons. They show us that it's okay to be interested in multiple things, that changing our minds when we learn new information is wisdom, not weakness, and that staying curious keeps us young regardless of our age. The highest expression of Gemini is the master communicator and bridge builder, someone who gathers information from diverse sources, sees connections others miss, and helps people understand each other across differences. This is the person who asks the questions that unlock new understanding, who translates complex ideas into accessible language, and who reminds us all that learning never stops. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Gemini. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone who would benefit from understanding this versatile, communicative sign. Drop a comment below sharing your Gemini placements or experiences with this energy. I love hearing from you. But until next time, keep well, beautiful souls.